All America survey showing Americans don't want a rematch of Biden versus Trump in 2024. I think other polls have said some similar things, I think, Steve, that we've seen.
Maybe. I mean, I have not seen these particular results, Joe, so let me just walk through them until you tell me if you've seen them before. So the answer is neither of the above. That's the conclusion from the CNBC All-America Economic Survey when we asked Americans if President Biden or former President Trump should run again for president. And the answers are pretty definitive. Let's go through it. Should they run again? Trump, 30% say yes, 61%. That is a pretty good majority say no. Biden, 19% say yes, 70% say no. But what's really interesting is when you look at it by party, 37% of Republicans don't want the former president to run, including, and that adds to 61% of independents also say he shouldn't run. But it's even bigger in the Democratic Party, where 57% of Democrats don't want the president to run again, and 66% of independents. Guys, guess which age? Oh, I'll get to that in a second here. Jay Campbell, a Democratic pollster from Hart Research, says the significance is that neither the former nor sitting president has a large enthusiastic base at the moment. That becomes a problem if you're running for president. We asked about one specific reason. Is age a factor? 73% say not when it comes to Trump. Just 8% say it's major, 15% say minor. But it's a bigger deal for Biden. 47% say it's a major reason, 21% say it's a minor, and 30% say not a reason at all. Guess which age group thinks it's the biggest problem for Biden?
Older people.
66% of people,
yeah.
65 and
Just the
older.
way you asked it, I figured that had to be the answer.
It's always the right. The other one that's big?
What's that?
Democrats. More so than Republicans think age is an issue for Biden.
Well, that would indicate it's a younger thing, you know, that the younger voting people kind of saying some of those things.
I think the Democrats are looking for a change in the demographic of their leadership. Biden has other problems. His approval rating, 46%, now it's 41%. Economic approval, pretty much the same, 40%, now 38%. Take a very quick look at priorities for Congress. Lowering inflation, by far the biggest one. Reducing the deficit comes in second. Immigration and border security, third. And then you have this kind of step down, aid to Ukraine, nationwide abortion protections. Again, these are huge splits in the parties, and investigating the Biden administration, a much bigger deal for Republicans than it is for Democrats.
So you really haven't seen that headline again and again and again? Most Americans don't want a rematch of 20. I've seen it again and again, but you said it this way, and before it's been said this way.
Well, I think it's been.
There's
done,
a lot of.
I think it's been done from the gut.
There's a lot more granular stuff. There's more granular. I understand what you're saying, but that I could have told you that was going to be what most of the. And as far as people older knowing what it means to get to get old.
To get old.
Exactly. I mean, I watch Jeopardy. I know that there are some things happen.
I've seen the Trump v. DeSantis stuff. I've seen even head-to-head stuff. But we were a little bit less interested in the politics of it and more the should they run again issue, which I think is really the interesting part about this.
Voters.
Right,
and for Democrats want to win. And if the Democrats that don't want the president to run again are worried about who they should back in terms of who's going to win.
Republicans who don't want Trump to win.
That's right.
My guess is that the Republicans want Biden to run again, and the Democrats want Trump to run again, because your thought is you're going to get more from the anti-vote.
Right.
That will motivate your
right.
There is one interesting thing, though. Most of the Republicans who come on our air, Republican leaders, do not appear to be supporting Trump.
Yeah.
But notice the 37% in our poll of Republicans who want him to run again.
Right.
That's about the number.
Right.
That's
so is there that split in there between the leadership and the base, Joe? Or?
There has been for a long time, and a lot of the leaders would like to say something, but there's still that residual fear that they don't want, there's still, he can still talk to those 37%.